I am holding in front of me the most difficult schedule in the Big Ten. It belongs to a team that went 5-3 in its first season in the Big Ten and surprised a few of us with being able to hold ground against everybody in the conference, excluding the big boys, Ohio State, Michigan State, and Wisconsin. It's the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, and they have the most difficult schedule in the Big Ten, which includes Norfolk State and Washington State, and a Week 4 matchup against Kansas. Yes, and it's still the most difficult schedule in the Big Ten. Why? It's pretty simple here. So I look at division. I look at the non-division games, the two against the other division, and then I look at the non-conference games, and that certainly doesn't help Rutgers at all. Again, it's Norfolk State, Washington State, and it's Kansas and Army. And they still have the toughest schedule in the Big Ten because think about it. They play in the East, so it's Ohio State, Michigan State, Michigan-Penn State. That's the difficult call. They are the two wild cards. I believe that they could take a leap this year from 7 and 5 wins respectively to maybe 10 and 9 wins, something in that range. Or if Michigan and Penn State are similar to what they were last year, then the Big Ten West is close to what the Big Ten East is. The East could really take off if Michigan and Penn State come back to form, which I expect to happen in the next 3 to 4 years. In 2015, I believe that there will be strides at Happy Valley and Ann Arbor, but not to that degree. So tough games against Penn State and Michigan. Then they also have Maryland, and of course we got to throw in Indiana. Okay, what makes Rutgers' schedule the most difficult is that they have to deal with the East, and they also have the two toughies from the West. Wisconsin, the clear favorite in the West after winning the division again last season, and Nebraska. So Rutgers has to deal with the two most difficult teams out West. They're the only team in the East that has that assignment. All right. So the out-of-conference situation, it's ugly, but at least on paper, Rutgers plays two Power 5 conference teams, so I credit them there. They've got the date against Washington State. Last year, they went out to Pullman, pulled off the upset on opening night. This time, they also play Kansas, in addition, again, to Norfolk State and Army. So, Rutgers, you've got the most difficult schedule in the Big Ten. It's ranked number 1 by MarkRogersTV, and we invite your comments. So, there we ran them through, 14 all the way up to number 1 in the Big Ten. We've done the same in the ACC and the SEC. Compare the schedules. Tell us where you think we missed it, and we will talk about it right here on Mark Rogers TV.